Okay, so question to everyone. If you are somewhat overweight and your mother comes to you and says, "You're a little bit overweight. Do you think you might want to lose a little bit of that excess weight?" Does that make your mother necessarily a narcissist? Now, those of you who've watched this channel before will know I love nothing more than to denounce a narcissist. I'll make videos about Meghan Markle all week long. At the same time, I think we have to be wary, just as not Winston Churchill, but the ex-governor of Louisiana way back in 1935 warned that fascism will come to the United States, but under the guise of anti-fascism. I believe we may be witnessing the birth of neo-narcissism. No, not neo-Nazism. Neo-narcissism. And it's coming under the guise of anti-narcissism. Let's take a look.
My name's Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie. Thank you for joining us. What's your question?
I grew up with a narcissistic mother, and she gaslit me my whole life about my weight.
How can someone gaslight you about your weight? Unless, I don't know, you used to go to her as a child and say, "I've lost 5 pounds, mummy." And she'd be like, "Are you sure? You sure that's what really happened? You sure the scales aren't broken?" Which might be what happened. I think she just means her mum called her fat. That's not gaslighting. Why do we have to invent new words for everything? That's not gaslighting. You're just confusing people. You're gaslighting everyone. Is me questioning her gaslighting experience gaslighting her? Am I gaslighting her gaslighting? Am I adding to the problems? Fanning the flames of her trauma? Pouring gas on the fire of her shitty childhood? Okay.
And that really put a damper on my confidence growing up. A good example of this is when I tried on my wedding dress for the first time in front of my mom and dad at their house. And my mom, the first thing she says is, "Are you going to lose some weight for the wedding?"
I've just got to capture this moment. This is a glorious scene. Now, I bet most of you think I'm going to comment on the gormless look on this woman's face. But no, what caught my attention was actually... Oh, poor old Adrian. She's out to lunch. Where the hell is she looking? They're all watching the video, Adrian. You just go and sit over by the window now.
I just start crying. And my dad said, "Your mom's just trying to help. Maybe other people might say that to you at the wedding day."
I'm not sure where I stand on this one, to be honest, because I guess you have to be there. It's the tone, it's the context of what kind of a mother she is in other circumstances. But who, if not your own mother, can tell you that you're a bit overweight? That maybe you could stand to lose a bit of weight before your wedding because you'll look nicer? I mean, do you want to be surrounded by yes men? I mean, who are the people who are allowed to say that kind of thing to you? And the suggestion seems to be from the rest of this conversation that these women have, the answer to that is nobody. Nobody can tell you you're overweight. That's a line you don't cross. It depends on so many other factors. I don't know. I don't think per se that that's a terrible thing to say. Maybe it's not the best moment, but I don't know.
My whole life, weight was such a thing for them. I look back on pictures after having 3 kids now, and I'm like, I was beautiful. What am I doing?
Looking at these pictures side by side, I mean, one's a professional photo, but it looks like she may have taken the advice. Looks like she may have lost a little bit of weight before the wedding, and she does look better. Really, you have to be there, don't you? I mean, there are ways of telling people that they're a bit overweight and they could stand to lose a bit of weight, and I don't think it's a bad thing to say it, necessarily. It's hard to say from the way she's relating what happened here. We don't know, do we? We don't... It doesn't sound narcissistic to me to say that, or like gaslighting. So I'm not really sure where they're going with this, given that it's in the context of narcissistic parents and gaslighting. So far, we know that her mum says, you could lose a little bit of weight. Not massively narcissistic, and is she gaslighting her daughter? I don't know.
I couldn't enjoy it, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
To me, when a parent comments on weight in that way, that's a boundary violation. Right. It's an incredibly intrusive experience. What your dad did was actually a bit of the gaslight. Mm-hmm. And so that 1-2 punch of being invalidated on a day, I am sure you look beautiful. You look beautiful now, by the way. So
it's really not for me to comment on anybody's looks, right? But if somebody said to this woman now, somebody who is close to her said, you could stand to lose a bit of weight, I don't think it would be wildly narcissistic. I don't know, if you've said it 1,000 times and she just doesn't respond, maybe then you need to just give up and realise you're not helping. But if somebody mentioned it to her, you're a bit overweight. Her mother, her husband, would it be the end of the world? Guess we're all wired differently, aren't we?
So
Thanks.
don't
Yes.
you have that as your identity. One thing you'll also have to catch yourself
What the fuck is going on? I'm tripping balls.
on is to not ever talk about your body that way in front of your own children.
Yeah.
Because they get to
Exactly.
start with a clean slate of loving their bodies and loving how they look, and you love how they look. They think you're beautiful, so they don't want to hear you talking, in essence, gaslighting your appearance in front of them.
You can gaslight your own appearance now. Okay, Dr. Ramani. Look, I'm all for body positivity. Actually, I don't think I am all for body positivity. There are limits. Being overweight is not good.
Not good.
I'm a few kilos overweight now, and I'm a little bit obsessed about my weight. But I'm about 3 kilos overweight now, and I'm a little bit stressed about it. And probably my kids will hear me say, God, I've got a bit of a gut on me. I need to go and do some more exercise. I need to eat better. Is that the end of the world? What's more damaging? To be worried about being a couple of kilos overweight, or to be crying because your mother says you're overweight when you are quite overweight? Say that everyone's gaslighting you and everyone's a narcissist just because they mention, hey, maybe you could lose a little bit of weight. Because to be honest, yeah, she wasn't massively overweight on her wedding day, but she wasn't skinny. Now, 3 kids later, she looks like she's piled on the pounds a little bit. If someone's terrorizing you about it, that's a bad thing, yes. But if someone just mentions, hey, have you tried to do this? Because, you know, they're your mother and they're concerned about you. We need more context. We need more specifics. But I just don't think it's that terrible.
Right.
How do I grow my confidence as a wife, mother, woman trying to come in this world,
That was immature. I'm sorry.
when I don't have a model?
Yeah. Yeah. The most painful question I ever hear is, how am I supposed to be a loving mother if I wasn't loved by my own mother or parent? So you recognize that your mom was not healthy for you, gaslighted you. Once you get that, that's actually such a great place to be as a parent, because it means you're really going to commit to not doing that to your child.
Right.
How involved is your mother in your life right now?
Well, I moved across the country
Oh,
and
good.
she followed me.
Oh, yeah.
I love how they're all just condemning this woman they've never met. I moved across the country. Oh, good. She followed me. Oh, no. All we know is she said she was fat, which is not a lie.
So
Oh crap, the camera's on me again. Look alive, Adrian.
Okay.
right now she's in my life. She's just moved here. I'm trying to navigate that. I have set boundaries now. I see her almost every day at this point right now.
How's that working out for you?
My husband was saying it's working out way better than we thought it was,
He's gaslighting you.
because I'm gray rocking her.
Okay, she's doing something called gray rocking. Gray rocking is when you're almost like a gray rock. You're just sort of monotone, yes, no, I understand. And I might even tell you to level it up to a little bit of yellow rocking.
Ooh, okay.
Makes it a little easier on your kids.
Oh, great. So now there's grey rocking and yellow rocking. Or pop psychology terms that people are going to hurl at me at some point in my life, of course. But the irony is here, Dr. Ramani goes on to describe in a bit more detail what grey rocking and yellow rocking are exactly. They sound like fairly narcissistic practices, particularly if you're doing them to your mother, who so far all we know is she just said before your wedding, maybe you want to lose a bit of weight. Now you're grey rocker. Sure, Mom. Okay. Bloody grey rock. Don't need to listen to her. She's just a grey rock.
Yellow rocking is infusing it with a little bit more pizzazz, right? Thank you. Oh, sure. Okay. Sounds good. You seem like a really warm person, and the warmth is a natural part of you, so you don't feel like you have to cut off that part of yourself to interact with her. Still one-word answers, but okay. Sure.
Right.
That sounds insane. Dissonance in your head. Extremely angry about what you're hearing and having to go, oh, that's great. That's wonderful. Oh, yeah, great advice. Thanks. That is terrible advice for the world. I don't care how many degrees Dr. Ramani has. I'm never yellow rocking. I can't do grey rocking. I have to call bullshit out when I hear it. I walk around with my blood at 100 degrees. Everyone is a fucking molten rock to me. Grey rock my ass. Nothing is grey. Everything's black and white.
And here's where I cannot sugarcoat this for you. Because folks like you, folks like me, others at the table, we're lifers, right? This is going to be a long journey
Adrian knows the score.
with this.
Yeah.
And you just do Stephanie and your family without thinking about how she would judge it, how she would evaluate it. And this will be a profound turnaround for you. Your mom gaslighted you.
Did she, though? I mean, we firmly established that she gaslighted her.
If she ever gaslights your kids, you take her aside.
You take her aside and you whisper softly in her ear, I will fucking end you.
And you say, no more. You stand up for your children. You don't have to do it in front of them because that's unsettling for your kids if she's still in their lives. But at any given time, keep checking in with yourself and make sure that the things you're doing in your life are for you and your kids and your family, not about her, not against her, not what would she think. And it's painful. There's grief because you didn't get such an important part of the human experience. You, though, are stepping up to be a spectacular mother yourself.
I'm sorry, I've got to be missing something here. Dr. Ramani must know this woman more than... I mean, that's the only explanation I've got here. How does she know she's a great mother? How does she know that her mother is a narcissist? There must be more context to this. Otherwise, yeah, no.
Exactly. You are breaking an intergenerational cycle. I don't know if you know how powerful that is.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I definitely feel the grief. I feel a lot of sadness around it still.
Yeah.
And you know what,
Definitely.
Stephanie, too? I want to say this, that
Oh, God, Adrian, please say... Please say something hilarious.
you think that you don't have a role model, but you actually do. You have a role model of what you don't want.
I get it, yes. She got a role model she don't want. It makes sense. I like to think that she's been sat there the whole podcast working on her hypothesis, apparently stoned out of her mind, completely absent, out to lunch, sat by the window, the blanket over her legs. But no, she was there. She was present the whole time. She was listening, and she knows the score. Adrian always knows the score. Nuggets of wisdom. Where the hell is the kid? What's her name? Willow. Willow's my favourite. I want her back. She wasn't on this episode.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yep, it's a great point.
A great point. Well made, Adrian. Thank you. No better way to end this video, I don't think. What did you think? Who was the narcissist? It ain't me. That's all I know. I am not a narcissist, and if you call me one, I'll grey rock the shit out of you. You're just a grey rock. Oh yeah, I'm a narcissist. Okay then, sure. Alright? Shut up.